Hi everyone, Mike Lewis here, second day of the New Marketing Summit, and I'm really psyched to be here with Cangialosi from Bluesky. We're actually doing a panel later this afternoon, so it's kind of a preview of what's to come. But why don't you introduce Bluesky and yourself, and then we'll jump into the meat, the real question.
Sure, yeah. Greg Cangialosi, I'm President and CEO of Bluesky Factory. We're a leading email service provider based in Baltimore. We help clients maximize the email marketing communications channel through a combination of both services and technology solutions.
Very cool.
We've 7.5 years in business. We've been doing pretty well in down market too.
So email marketing provider.
Yeah.
I've heard at least 7 times email's dead.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. And it's just, it's just a myth that needs to be dispelled.
So tell me, why should we dispel that myth?
Well, I mean, look, the bottom line is the answer is email is not dead. It's alive and well. It's actually more important to the marketing mix than ever. If you think about it, right, email is the internet's dominant application. We can ask anybody in this room today, did they check their email at least once today on a mobile device or, on their PC? I bet you all the hands in the room go up. If you ask them, did they check all the RSS feeds they're subscribed to, or, if logged into Facebook or Twitter, maybe so, but email is the one thing that's the internet dominant application online today. It's the workhorse of online marketing. It's the staple of all online marketing. I mean, if you're doing any marketing today, it's really the key workhorse. It drives an incredible ROI. When you have stats like the DMA going, every dollar that you spend on email marketing can generate an estimated $48 back.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, where do you say that email's dead? And I think when you think about email as a medium, there's 3 different ways that I look at it. There's the social email, there's marketing email, and there's transactional email. And those are the 3 ways that we interact with it. And it's just part of the way we communicate with each other. It's the way that businesses communicate with their customers, their prospects, their members in some cases. It's a staple of online marketing. And so not only do I not think it's dead, I think it's not going anywhere for a long, long time.
So is it part of the traditional or old marketing now?
Email?
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both, actually. I mean, it's traditional in the sense of traditional online marketing.
Right.
If we can say those terms now, there's the traditional online marketing. Obviously, we started in '01 and have just been climbing in terms of customer growth and the total volume of email that we've sent year over year. So it's definitely part of the old marketing or the traditional marketing online, and its role is kind of changing in the new marketing landscape, if you will. It's really kind of become the digital glue of everything that we're doing. A lot of our clients we're seeing across the board are tying all of their other communications together with email. So their video, their blog posts, all these things are being featured in their email communications, and they're cross-pollinating content using email, and it's very effective.
So how do you avoid being a spammer? And I know this is a question that has been asked since, Can Spam first came out, even before that, really. I mean, but how do you avoid it? I mean, I get into work in the morning, and the first thing I do is delete, 50 messages. Dump them, and I go into my spam folder and see which ones got sucked in there, and try to pull them back out. But what advice do you give to clients to avoid that?
Sure, it all starts with permission, always, right? So you always have to have permission in order to mail people. If you haven't got that permission, and there's some gray areas, like for example, we were having this conversation earlier, at events like this, when someone gives you a business card, and you ask them, either like we're giving away a laptop at our booth today, but I'll ask everybody.
Anybody enter the laptop card?
A lot of people did, and it's like when you put that card in, I simply say, and the folks that work with us always say, can we throw you on our mailing list? We send out a monthly newsletter. Can opt out at any time. 90% of people say yes. That's permission at that point. So it starts with permission, and then really it begins with relevance and frequency that works for your audience. So you don't want to abuse the list. You don't want to oversaturate a list. You want to basically tell people what they're going to be getting from you, how much, when, and in some cases give them control over editing their subscriber preferences, so they can, in some cases, control the frequency. And just make sure the content is relevant and right on. There's this kind of quote that's been in the market more recently than before, that irrelevance is the new spam. Okay, so if you're getting stuff that you didn't sign up for, obviously that's spam. But if senders that you know and have a relationship with are sending you things that aren't related to Mike Lewis, you're going to opt out. You're not going to maybe perceive that person as a spammer, but you're going to say this is kind of junk. I don't want it. That's the most basic definition. I would say.
So let me ask you this: there are some vendors, and I've talked to some of them that are actually now. You can go to their site, you can log in, and you can create lists, people in target market, for example, and actually produce email back to you. Is that spam? You can actually buy email addresses. Is it spam to email them once and say, would you like to opt into my newsletter?
We advise across the board not to buy any lists at all. The best email marketing is organic email marketing. Acquisition through email marketing is a tactic that's tough, challenging, but yet at the same time can absolutely be done correct with with a legitimate provider of email lists. Buying lists is different than renting lists. I'm very wary about the bought list, and hitting somebody out of left field with absolutely no affiliation or relation.
Yeah.
It happens every day, but this is something we don't advise. Rented lists, on the other hand, again, tricky for an acquisition vehicle for new customers, but there are a lot of legitimate operations out there like Return Paths, Postmaster Direct Network, and these lists aren't cheap, so you do get what you pay for, and you get a one-time drop to try to acquire that customer, and it's expensive when you're paying $200, $300, $400 CPMs
really
to hit somebody with an email, which you have the attention span of maybe 2 to 5 seconds to capture their attention.
Sometimes you don't even get that. I mean, it's just a
sometimes just like it's the sender, I don't know them, delete.
Yep, exactly. So if you were to give people one tip, there's going to be people that are just starting out in new marketing and are probably evaluating what's going on with their email marketing programs.
Sure.
What would be the one tip that you'd give them?
Be consistent is the one tip that I would give them. I mean, obviously, I can't really stick to one tip, but permission is paramount. So permission is paramount. It's the number one tip. But tell people what you're going to send them and be consistent with what you're going to say. It's the same kind of philosophy with blogging, right?
Yeah.
Once you start a blog, be consistent with it. Same with email. It's an incredible medium to develop loyalty, retention, mind share of your business to these folks, whether they're customers or prospects or not. Stay in front of them. And so, if you're going to email a monthly newsletter, and I know that's challenging for some organizations to pull it all together and write good content and keep it on a sort of an editorial schedule, it's the one thing I absolutely advise the most because it's super successful for our clients, for us as our own marketers. You can't let those long gaps go in between sending and when someone's going to receive something for your organization, because then you start to lose the value of email.
I couldn't agree more. In fact, it's funny you say the two biggest tips that to me drive me crazy. It's when you subscribe to something you're actually interested in, you don't hear from them for a month, and then all of a sudden you get 10 emails back to back to back because they have something they're promoting, Right.
To me, that kind of, emanates, sloppy planning,
exactly.
Or somebody who's, behind the 8 ball, or, they don't have their act together as an organization, their communication strategy. And again, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. I mean, so I totally understand where, companies get into that pitfall.
Absolutely.
But one of the things that we do is we always make sure our clients are sending. If we see a 30-day gap where one of our clients is not sending, then we contact them. Everything okay? Can we help you in any way, shape, or form? And it's either a timeline issue or a resource issue, or they just haven't gotten around to it. So we that friendly reminder,
Well, very cool. I really, really appreciate you taking some time, and I'm looking forward to our panel this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.
All right, talk to you soon.
Okay.